recording.
We are recording. Okay, so we are calling the meeting to start for our Parks Committee meeting. And we are going to go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Roll call. We got Alder Presley.
Here.
Alder DeLee.
Here.
Alder Weary.
Here.
And myself. Let the record show we're all in attendance. And I'm looking for the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Alder Presley. I'm sorry, Alder DeLee. I'm looking at Alder DeLee.
I'll second it.
And seconded by Alder Presley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and that is approved. Approval of minutes.
Move to approve.
Made by Alder Weary.
Second.
Seconded by Alder DeLee. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, and those are approved. So we're moving on to regular business with our very long agenda tonight. Consideration with possible action on the approval of a sponsorship agreement with Children's Hospital and Health System. You know what, before I go on, I want to just say, because I want to make sure I say it, all items discussed at this meeting tonight is a recommendation that we make to the full council, which will be next Tuesday for final approval, and that it's at 6 o'clock. All right. And whether you want to go or not, that's up to you. I feel like I'm just talking to the, to the choir here. But it's just your decision whether, hold on.
I'll be
Sorry
there.
about that. It's
Good
your
choice.
sole decision on whether you want to come.
I might do.
Gosh, I'm stumbling with that
You wanna
one.
go? I think I'll go.
You think you'll go? Yeah.
We're all gonna go.
Are you all coming? Okay. Consideration with possible action on the approval of a sponsorship agreement with Children's Hospital and Health System, Inc. for a donation of $20,000 towards Kids Day on June 25th, 2025.
So, as you know, Kids Day has been going on for well over 20 years. Last year was the first year that we offered a major sponsorship opportunity to businesses to help engage and participate in Kids Days. And last year, Children's Hospital did step up, and they were a major donor last year of $20,000 towards the event last year. They would like to do so again. So we're bringing kind of the contract forward for it to get approval to have them be the major sponsor or donor towards Kids Day in 2025. If approved, 10,000 of that total would go towards free rides for children with wristbands from 3 p.m. to close. And then $1,500 would be for promotional giveaways, $1,500 for signage, and $7,000 for entertainment. And this year we're hoping to do some sort of a bubble experience for the children. So we have a few thoughts in mind, but nothing's kind of set in stone yet. In exchange for the sponsorship, we'll obviously include Children's Hospital and Health Systems in all of our signage and promotional advertising for the event. Last year was the first year we hosted Kids Day at Bay Beach Amusement Park, and it was a great venue for it, so we're going to host it there again in the same location. We're hoping that the new West End train expansion and the new bathrooms will be completed by Kids Day, but that's still tentative and not set in stone yet. And in the agenda packet, you'll see an attached contract. It's very similar to the contract that you approved last year. The law department did review it again this year and feels comfortable moving ahead with that contract. So I'm seeking approval.
Dan, how much is, do you know offhand what the total budget is for the event?
Do you know that offhand, James?
I'm just wondering how much of this 20 that.
For Kids Day.
I guess what are you considering as part of the budget? Like,
I
is
guess-
it just the expenses? Or
Yeah,
you're
expenses of
talking-
putting it on, like, how much does this 20 go towards it? Like, is it cover the bulk of it, or?
It covers the bulk of everything involved with the mayor's luncheon, like the focus at Bay Beach. So from like that 3 to 6 at Bay Beach, it covers
Okay.
all the things Dan talked about, and then also covers kind of the entertainment and the things we do, the tent, the different things that we have to put up, those kind of things.
Okay. I guess you don't need the portable bathrooms. I was thinking at Lake Park you had to do the portable bathrooms, but
Mhm.
bathrooms there.
Yeah, essentially it covers all the expenses needed to run a really great event at Bay Beach and also offer the free rides for Bay Beach.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any questions or thoughts?
I mean, to follow up on that, most of the other
Yeah.
activities that are throughout the city are usually all sponsorships in kind, getting the community to, they really support that day and offer different things throughout the city, as well as our department and other departments that, from the city that all kind of chip in to make it a great day, so.
Awesome, thank you.
Move to approve. Second.
Moved to approve by Alder Weary, seconded by Alder DeLee. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Okay, it passes. Once in a while, I'll throw that in there. Okay, consideration with possible action on the approval of hiring NES Ecological Services to conduct a prairie burn at Henesra Park.
So I typically bring all prairie burns to committee and council for approval, just in case there's any concerns for the public or the alders in the area to express their concerns at a committee before we grant authority to do a prairie burn. We've never hosted one at Henesra Park before. This would be the first one. The area that we're looking at doing a prairie burn is the big grass area adjacent to the open shelter. It's the old yard waste facility that we planted with prairie grasses, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. We've been trying to enhance that prairie. There's been a lot of kind of invasives coming in there, so this would be a good opportunity to do a prairie burn. Because there really is very little woody vegetation in there, and it's mainly grasses, it should be, should be a very simple burn that should be done very quickly with not too many concerns with getting out of control, because there's not a lot of woody vegetation there. If approved, this burn would occur sometime in May. NES Ecological Services would have to put together a burn plan that the fire department would have to review and approve before we allow them to do the burn. And then per the plan, they can only burn when weather conditions are ideal. So the burn plan addresses things like how it would be staffed, the method of approach that they would take to actually burn it, and what safety measures are taken into account. And then what notifications are done to, who do they notify before the prairie burn happens. We've worked with NES before on prairie burns. They're a good company. They do this frequently throughout the community. We would feel more than comfortable going with them again. This is an initiative Parks would pay for it. It's a minimal cost, and I don't really have any concerns. What I would say is I'm seeking approval, but I would make it contingent upon the fire department review and approval of the burn plan.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
Motion to approve contingent on fire department review of the burn plan.
Okay.
Second.
Motion made by Alder Presley, seconded by Alder DeLee. All those in favor? Oh, well, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and that is approved. Recommended approval. Consideration with possible action on the purchase of a 2025 New Holland L320 skid steer loader from Gruitz Inc. for a total cost of $51,500.
So Forestry bonded $87,000 for this in 2025 for this purchase. It is a new piece of equipment to our list of equipment. This isn't a replacement. They just needed an additional one so that they could work more efficiently. They'll be used for planting trees, removal of dead trees, and removal of stumps. The purchasing department did quote this through their Sourcewell contract, and we're proposing to purchase it from Gruitz Inc. for a total cost of $51,500. That's not the total cost, that's the cost for the skid steer. We also want to purchase a grapple hook bucket from another vendor, which will be an attachment to this. So we have a separate quote for $8,800 for that bucket. That bucket doesn't need committee and council approval because it's under the threshold that I need to get committee and council approval for. But the combination of both is still within our budget, so I'm recommending approval of the skid steer.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, comments?
Does the extra, sorry?
Yes?
Does the extra amount just go on, you don't spend as much, or does that go into the secret bucket?
Well, what we usually,
It goes to,
I wouldn't say a secret pot of money, but what we do is,
There's no
some
secret
equipment
pot.
goes over, some goes under. So we keep it in our equipment replacement fund, and that funds something that might go over our estimated cost. And if at the end of the year we have additional money left, then we put it towards things that we would want to purchase next year, so we don't have to bond for it next year. So
Like-
we do utilize it for equipment
Like going
purchases.
to my parties. for-
so equipment versus like a slide, towards the
Correct.
slide. I
That's
know.
This would all go towards either fleet or equipment.
I thought
Okay.
I wanted a
Use it for
Colburn pot.
anything else.
Colburn pot?
Colburn
Oh, yeah, of
bucket. The
course. He's got it.
Colburn.
It's
Who's
his
gonna
last
be-
meeting with us, so he's
Man.
got to put that out there.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments aside from that?
Move to approve.
Okay, motion by Alder Delete to approve.
Second.
Second by Alder Weary. And any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, and that is motion to approve. Informational Director's Report on updates and recent activities of Park, Rec, and Forestry.
A couple of things. One is I do want to thank Alder Weary for his service to the city and especially Parks Committee, because I know you've been on the Parks Committee a lot of the time that you've been on the city council.
Some reason I've been dealing with pools.
I know, but we really appreciate everything. You've been great to work with. It's too bad you're leaving us. You can always come back and move back to the
Said
city
that with a
if you
straight
want.
face.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah,
He said you can move back to the city,
No, I
you're
meant
allowed.
that Been fun to work with.
So.
You've been a great constituent, my favorite one.
Thank you. Yeah, we've been together at this pretty much about the same time.
Yeah.
I think I maybe started about a year before you became an alder, so
Wow.
it's been pretty much the same amount of time. So it's been great working with you. Couple other things that I do just want to note, or one thing in particular, in regards to the Conservation Corps. You may or may not have heard that unfortunately the federal funding for the Conservation Corps was eliminated earlier this week. So on Monday, we unfortunately had to send all of our Conservation Corps members home because the grant will not fund their positions anymore. We did have a discussion about this at last night's Personnel Committee. If you want to watch the video regarding that or listen to the audio, I think they had problems with the video. You're welcome to do that. It kind of goes over kind of what our game plan is for the short term to kind of close that program out. Kind of a shame it happened. They did a lot of good work for the community. I don't really know what else to say at this point regarding that. Obviously, if you have specific questions, I can talk to you individually on it. I just wanted the committee as a whole, or the committee, everyone here, to know kind of what's going on with that and what is happening moving forward here. But unfortunately, we lost the grant funding. What we're planning on doing is still spending all of the city budget and run the program as long as we can using the money that we already allocated in the 2025 budget. But then after that point, the program either is eliminated or we'll come back with an alternate proposal of what it could look like in some other fashion that maybe the city might be interested in funding. So that's about all I know right now.
How many positions was that?
So we have currently 13 AmeriCorps members on staff and 3 full-time city staff members. So 2 of the full-time city staff are for the Conservation Corps and 1 of them is for the Community Corps. So if you recall, we received a grant to start planning a community corps. So right now, the only position in the community corps is this 1 full-time position who is doing the planning associated with implementing that program possibly next year. Don't know if we'll get the grant for that we applied for. I would say it's very doubtful since all of the other grants were canceled. But we'll have a lot more discussions on those 2 programs in the next few weeks. bring the various committees and city council into that discussion as we need to. So I just wanted you to be aware that it happened, and unfortunately that Conservation Corps has to disband right now.
So he chose not to take the camera in here, or did you do the interview?
I did the interview.
Oh, you did, okay.
All right, that's all I have for director's report.
Okay, any questions?
Yeah, and how did Bay Beach go during the draft? Was it?
I would say it was a good turnout. We did have to close on Friday, so we didn't open Friday due to the weather. But the other 3 days were a good crowd. It wasn't overly busy, but it also wasn't a small crowd either. It was a nice early summer weekend day is what it equated to. What we did find out, or what our anticipation is that most of the people that came were residents, and it didn't appear to be a lot of tourists that were coming. There were some, but it appeared to be mainly residents.
Thanks.
Do we have an update on the dog park over at, is it Van Beaver?
It's at Meyer Park.
Or at Meyer Park?
Yeah, I can give you an update. I don't know it offhand. I know
Okay.
that we put together a plan. We were quoting out the fencing. I don't know the status of when that's going to be installed.
Okay.
I'll get back to you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, so I do want to, and it's kind of great that everybody's in the room to say, because I'm just going to say it now since y'all are here, what a great job all of you did during the draft, and I just, the amount of positives I heard. I was out working the military, I'm Lieutenant, so I talked to a lot of people, some people from the UK, and well, they were saying how nice everybody is in our city, which of course I agree. But how organized it was, and just people that were not even affected by the traffic flow because it was just so well maintained, and so and that's to all of you in the room. So thank you all for such a great job. I heard nothing but positives, honestly, about all of that.
Thank
And
you.
I know you had the concert that was awesome, really well attended. I mean both nights. So.
Thank you.
Alderac
you're
even
welcome.
talked to me.
I even talked. Even talked to him. He came to my. So did Alder Weary.
I made it late. I went to the wrong spot. So busy. I thought the fireworks were at the Lambeau, so I went down there by the time I got down here. But I got to go to the beer tent about Sunday or so. The
Yeah,
beer-
well, I was
beer
talking about on the-
structure, the beer,
Mhm.
whatever you want to call it.
Container bar.
The Lombardi Access Road. You came in and saw me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that beer tent. The thing we got our picture taken at the top of the container bar.
Seemed to be
James was
successful.
with us
Yeah.
with his cowboy hat. Or do you call it a cowboy?
Luke Combs UK was playing,
Yeah.
so I mean, you know,
Yeah.
maybe that was them that went down to the other event, I don't know.
Maybe. All right, well, our next meeting is May 14th, and thank you, Alder Weary, for working with us, and this is our last meeting, so
Yeah.
that's it. But I'll see you
That
next
happened
Tuesday,
sooner or
right?
later, right?
We'll see you next
I thought it'd be
Tuesday.
out after Steve. Because you're coming up pretty quick.
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion made by Alder Weary.
Do we need a motion for the director's report?
Oh, yes, we
Receive, place on
do.
file.
Thank you for reminding me. Okay, receive it. We need a motion to receive and place on file.
So
The
moved.
Director's report
Taking a picture.
by
'cause
Alder, delete.
5, 10 years I won't remember, so,
Did you take one of me doing this or what?
when you were looking.
Okay, so
Can we finish
Alder
the
Delete
agenda?
made a motion to receive and place on file. The
Actually, I
direct-
made that motion.
Join me.
Oh, I thought it was,
Presley did.
okay.
Second.
I'm sorry, Alder Presley. And seconded by, did you just second?
Yes.
Okay, Alder Delete. I want to make sure I get that right. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, next meeting, May 14th, and now,
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn made by Alder Weary,
Second.
seconded by Alder Delete. All those in favor say aye.
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 We are now adjourned.
Still hitting you up for indoor football there, James, so.